You know, every business out there wants to grow. That's a given. But the real trick, the thing that separates the winners from the rest, isn't just finding leads. It's about finding customers who are ready to make a decision. Today, we're going to dig into how one company, Call Solutions, totally changed the game for themselves. They stopped chasing dead-end leads and started delivering high-intent customers. There's a lot we can learn from their playbook.
Look, in this day and age, it's so easy to get buried in data, right? You've got clicks, impressions, leads, a mountain of it. But the real challenge today isn't about getting more names on a list. It's about quality. Real growth, the kind that lasts, doesn't come from a giant spreadsheet. It comes from making a real connection with the handful of people who are ready to act right now.
And that brings us to the question that every single company needs to ask itself. Seriously, are you spending your time, your money, your energy chasing cold leads? Or are you connecting with customers who are already raising their hand saying, "I'm interested"? Because let's be honest, one of those paths just burns through your resources, while the other is how you build real momentum.
And that is exactly the problem that Call Solutions set out to solve. Their whole business, their entire model, is built around this big idea, shifting away from chasing quantity and instead engineering high-quality, high-intent connections.
Just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about here, get this. Call Solutions generates between 500 and 700 qualified customer calls every single day. And these aren't just website clicks or form fills. Nope. These are actual inbound phone calls from people who are actively looking for a service. That's a whole different level.
And this wasn't something they figured out overnight. They were founded back in 2015, and they have spent all the years since then just perfecting this system. We're talking millions of verified calls delivered to their clients. So this is way past the startup phase. It's a reliable, proven engine for growth.
Okay, so what's the secret sauce here? How does a company pull this off, generating hundreds of these high-intent calls day in and day out? Let's pop the hood and take a look at their performance marketing engine.
Their whole process is this really slick four-step flow. It all starts with super targeted digital marketing to find exactly the right people. Those people are then sent to landing pages that are optimized to convert, but here's the most important part. Every single lead is verified for both intent and compliance before it gets delivered in real time to their client.
Now, that verification step, it's an absolute non-negotiable for them. They use industry-standard tools, things like TrustedForm and Jornaya, to get documented proof that the customer actually gave their consent. This isn't just about making sure the lead is good. It's about adding this critical layer of compliance that protects their clients' businesses. It's huge.
So, a model that's powerful is awesome in theory, but where does the rubber actually meet the road? I mean, who is this for? Well, it turns out this system is being used across some major industries. Basically, any industry that depends on connecting with a customer right away.
And you can just see the variety here. This approach absolutely thrives in those high-stakes industries where people need answers fast. Think about it. Home services, like your HVAC breaking down or needing a plumber. Big decisions in home improvement, like solar or remodeling. And of course, critical areas like insurance and even legal and finance.
All right, so we get the problem, we see how the machine works, and we know where it's being used. But that brings us to maybe the most important question of all. What's the real advantage? Why would a business choose a performance-driven model like this? The whole thing really boils down to a few key benefits. First off, the calls are exclusive and happen in real time. That means you're not fighting with 5 other companies for some old lead. Second, you get totally transparent tracking so you can see your return on investment crystal clear. Third, every single lead is compliant, which protects your business. And finally, they give you flexibility in how you run your campaigns, whether you want a direct live transfer to your sales team or some other kind of setup.
This quote right here really nails their whole mission. It gets to the very heart of what they're about. They don't see themselves as just some call delivery service. No, they see themselves as partners in growth, in building trust, and in creating long-term success. It's a total shift from a simple transaction to a real strategic relationship.
And that right there is really the final takeaway. A model like this makes you step back and ask a tough question about your own business. Is our current strategy just about chasing volume, or is it truly designed to connect with customers and drive real performance-based growth? It's something to think about for any business that wants to do more than just survive, but actually thrive. Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and we'll catch you on the next one.